Okay. So we said that the dreaming tree is written in third person, and we use textual evidence to prove that. It says, once upon a time, a young boy named Uweka lived with his grandfather. He was a kind-hearted individual, or kind-hearted child. Now, at any point in time, did you hear or see the author talking about him or herself? No, this is kind of like I'm taking my camcorder and I'm recording Uweka being sick, being kind, being made fun of. It's kind of like I'm videotaping him, and I wanted you to see his perspective. But I'm not involved as the narrator. So I'm going to use this sentence right here as textual evidence. Hopefully you're recording along with me. Good point. So, boy, Uweka, his, and yes, sir. And this is the narrator. We don't know who the narrator is. The narrator, unknown, is talking about who? Uweka. Now, are we able to kind of get an idea of how all of the characters are feeling? Yeah. We know Uweka's thoughts. We know Sanaya, what he says. His grandfather was worried. That's a parentheses. It's icing. So we know their thoughts. It's very important that you know this, because when we talk about our standard, it says describe how a narrator's point of view influences how events are described. We know that if it's written in third person, that the narrator can tell you how all of those characters are feeling. Whereas if it's written in first person, then we only know about whoever's doing the talking, that narrator's point of view. Thank you for trying, Zion. Okay, we're going to turn to page 63. What page? 63. And we're going to read a story called A Walk in the Rainforest. And by we, I mean me. Sit down. We will take care of it after. We will take care of it after. If you want to gently tear out A Walk in the Rainforest, that's fine. So it will make things a lot easier. I will tell you several people have dropped their copies, so I would advise you to write your name on top. So if you misplace it, we know who to return it to. So I'm going to read A Walk in the Rainforest, and your job is to figure out if it's written in first person or third person. Get it? Got it good? A Walk in the Rainforest. I was walking back to camp, gazing up at the rainforest canopy to see if I could spot any unusual birds or animals when crash! I tripped and fell to my hands and knees on the ground. Curious, I looked around to see what I had stumbled over. Probably just a fallen branch or an exposed tree root, I reassured myself. At first glance, I saw what looked like a branch lying on the ground in my path. There was something not quite right about it, though, and as I looked more closely, I noticed that it was hairy, and it was breathing. The cause of my fall was a tapir that was still fast asleep at my feet. How odd, I said to myself. As I continued to look around, things got even more strange. Curled up sleeping next to the tapir was a sloth, and next to the sloth, more animals, a monkey and a caiman. A jaguar family nestled together a little farther on, all asleep. There was even an enormous anaconda. Yikes! I shouted, jumping a few steps back. I knew better than to get close to some of these dangerous animals, sleeping or not. As I took in the sleeping animals, I noticed that they were congregated around a huge tree. My eyes warily wandered from the base of the tree, where all the sleeping animals lay, up the trunk to the looming branches and leaves. This is all strange, very strange indeed, I thought to myself. I want you to get your highlighter and highlight words that you think will help you figure out whether this is written in first person or third person. Giving you 30 seconds. You do hear me? It's going to be, hand me your workbook. Okay, now I want you to turn and tell each other what keywords were you able to find and what person point of view you think this is. I think it's All right, now we're going to whisper shout what we think it is. Are you ready? Okay, you're going to look at Freedom's. I don't know where yours went. So when I tell you go, you're going to whisper shout first person point of view or third person point of view. Get ready and go. If you said first person point of view, you're exactly right. So you're going to flip to the first person point of view section, and you're going to write the title, which is A Walk in the Rainforest. Huh? There is. Why am I quoting this? It's a title. Why am I capitalizing A but not capitalizing in or the? Very good. Are y'all getting better at trying to figure out the title? Because I'm pretty sure on your test you're going to have them purposely not capitalize certain things, and your job is to correct it. Alright, so now what I want you to do is I want you to pick any sentence from the text that proves it's written in first person. And I want you to copy it down on the example section. I'm going to walk around. Your job is to get a walk in the rainforest and look for a sentence that proves this is written in first person point of view. I like how I'm seeing people highlight. That helps it. That helps you a lot. these examples. They're very specific. So this is Cedarius's. He said, I thought to myself. There's actually two key words there. I and myself. And then Kevion said, as I took in the sleeping animals. What would be a good key word there? I. Very good. I want you to be thinking about, because it's very obvious, even though it never said someone's name, we can make an inference on who the narrator is. I want you to whisper to someone who you think the narrator is. It's very obvious, even though it never says that person's name. Does anyone know who the narrator is? Unite. Uweka. Very good. So, if you notice, even though it doesn't say, because we're not talking about Uweka, Uweka is talking about Uweka. So, therefore, it's kind of like you reading his diary. I was walking back to camp, gazing up at the rainforest. Now, even though we know how Uweka was feeling, even though you know what Uweka is feeling, do we know any other characters' feelings? No. No, so it's limited to just his. Yes.
I knew Uweka because in the dreaming tree, you had the same thing when it said, I tripped over a branch.
You tripped over a branch. Now, here's what I want you to do. You don't have to take these notes, but I do want you to understand what we mean with the standard, because sometimes the standard can be difficult to grasp. The reason why I wanted you to check out the word influence, it says describe how a narrator's point of view influences that. Well, if someone else is talking about Uweka, so let's just say, okay, Amy is talking about Uweka. She is the narrator. And sorry, it's frozen. What just happened? I'm sorry, guys.